I've recently been in a bit of a movie watching slump. I'm not sure if it's due to having sat through too many seasons of Chuck before being forced to turn off everything after the atrocities of season 5, episode 1. However, it's just been a little difficult for me to sit through a never-before-seen film or series without feeling restless. Last night, I strived through a breakthrough, and thankfully, after 3 attempts, I managed to get through it, with 9 months. I actually wasn't even aware that this movie existed until last week, and of course, I immediately added it to my fictitious to-watch list, because come on, it's one of those movies where Hugh Grant has a middle part, as if anyone can run away from one of those. My anticipation for this film's greatness only grew once I learnt that Jeff Goldblum and Robin Williams formed part of this cast, and that imaginary bar that I'd set for this movie only rose once Chris Columbus and Hans Zimmer's names flashed across the screen in the opening credits. So you can probably understand how dismayed I was when 9 months left me feeling like, But honestly, I should have known that the whole middle part thing wasn't really end-all be-all, because I'm sorry, but 4 Weddings and a Funeral and Notting Hill were also pretty mediocre in my opinion. Go talk to the hand. In my defense, these 2 films are fine. It's just that I more so fell in love with the side characters and didn't like how messy the main couples were. And unfortunately, the main couples are kind of an important component. So, 9 months is about a couple that don't really have a whole lot of chemistry going on for them before they discover that they're pregnant. The problem? Samuel. Samuel is the problem. For one, he doesn't even look like a Samuel, which kind of makes sense, because Hugh Grant mentioned in some interview that he felt like he was a little miscast here. But in all seriousness, he refuses to marry Rebecca, his partner of 5 years. He's a complete waste of time as a child shrink. Upon hearing the news of Rebecca's unexpected pregnancy, he immediately crashes his car with both of them in it. And even well into the 2nd trimester, this man is still missing medical appointments, refusing to accept that he will indeed be a father. Also, bonus arguments, he values his friend's thoughts and perspectives over his baby mama's, believing that having a child is the worst possible thing in the world, until his friend finally tells him how lucky he is. Plus, he's just a shit driver. Samuel does step up to the plate eventually. He reads pregnancy books, turns down the opportunity to have sex with this blonde, finally proposes to this ginger. They get married, she pops. We get the most chaotic and almost frustrating birthing sequence, and Samuel ends up being the caring dad and husband that Hugh Grant never really became. Oop. In short, I love Hugh Grant. This movie was not particularly worth watching for me, and I'm not so surprised now that I'd never heard of this prior to last week.